I met a gypsy.
What's some of the deals that are like your favorite deals you've ever done?
I've been proud of all of them. The ones that come to mind, that like in the action sports world that stick out to me, is the Geico deal. That one and the Red Bull Honda deal. Bringing Geico to Factory Connection back in the day, that was cool. Bringing that one like shook the industry. Like what the weird, like, because we launched it at Vegas mid-year.
Was it the black box? It was the first. Yeah.
And we did that, and it was a trial run. Let's debut it at Vegas. We'll run the Outdoor Nationals as a test for the year. And then, oh, by the way, we got X Games, guys. And we're going to run a black bike with Josh Grant at Summer X Supercross. And not mistaken, Josh was militia at the same time, too. And he wins the gold.
That's right.
Of Supercross.
He was a crazy marketable guy, too.
JG's awesome, the Grizz.
Imagine if the whole social media thing was around.
With him and Alessi in the day and Villapoto, those three going at it. His kids.
He's cooler than fuck, that guy.
I love Josh.
Really good dude. I got to hang out with him and Ashley at a race. It was one of the Verb races last year. I never really hung out with them that much. Fucking legends.
Salt of the earth people.
Good kids too.
Amazing. I was there when me and Denny were with Josh when he met Ashley. We go way, way back.
That's awesome.
With him. But Josh, so Josh wins the gold. And the contact from Geico we had at X Games with us in LA. And Motley Crue was playing with Buck Cherry at Glen Helen Pavilion.
At the San Bernardino. Yeah.
So I'm like, and this guy's like, yeah, I'm a Crew fan. I'm like, Danny, we're freaking going to Crew. We're gonna go. We're gonna take this guy to Crew. We're gonna load that limo up with champagne and booze. We're gonna schmooze the hell out of this guy. Took him to Motley Crue in the limo, did the whole 9 yards, brought him back. Josh won the gold, celebrated that, and he's like, I'm ready to do a 3-year deal. Took the bike. I told Factory Connection, I said, let's take this bike and let's give it to Geico and put it at HQ in DC.
Just let everyone walk past it every day.
Every day that CEO and CMO walk in, they see that bike. I called up X Games, and I said, guys, I got an idea. Can I buy a replica gold medal? Like, I want to put it with the bike. I want to put it on display with the jersey from Josh. I want to sign it, put it right in headquarters at Geico. So everybody that walks in that building sees that bike, the gold medal, and the story's there. No one has to say anything. It's just, and we did that. And that was a long-standing partnership over at FCR that allowed them to build what they built today, or no longer, but in the heyday, what they had.
Yeah.
So that was a really, really cool deal, and how we pulled it off. And it was a cold call. I chased this guy. I remember going to MotoGP up at Laguna Seca because they had a booth there. And I went there specifically to track him down, to find him. And he was there, but I couldn't get to him. But I got his name. I got his contact info. So I had the bat line number. I kept chasing him. And that's how that happened. And that's a big outside the industry deal for our sport.
Maybe the biggest.
Yeah. And the other, like, I think of the Red Bull Honda deal just because that was so cool. And bringing two iconic
just
brands.
The top.
Right?
Yeah.
And I remember, so when I went to Omnicom, and when I started at Omnicom, and I'm like, I got to build my client list up. I don't want to infringe upon anything I'd done over at Wassman from a conflict of interest standpoint.
Sorry, mate.
And I was like, with the brands that we now have access to here, or I have access to here now, and American Honda being the pinnacle of American Honda, and this is 2007. Ray Blank was still there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, F it, I'm calling Ray Blank. I have the rights to call Ray Blank now. I got a real business proposition for Ray. I called Ray and I said, an idea. I'd like to represent you. I think I can bring you. I think I can bring American Honda their first title sponsor.
So they'd never had a title sponsor to this point?
No, not that I can recall. I mean, maybe there was something in the 70s or early 80s, like.
But not in the modern era.
Yeah, not in the modern era. So someone may say, you're full of shit, Bob, you're lying. If I'm misrepresenting, I apologize in advance, but I don't recall American Honda having a global partner for their Supercross motocross racing teams. So Ray's like, yeah, I'd like to take a flyer on this, but we're very picky about who we're going to let align with our colors. They got to have red in their logo. They got to be global. It goes on, here's your pecking order. And I was like, well, shit, I think I got about 10 brands in the world that I could actually call based upon the criteria and the
Coca-Cola.
fit.
Yeah, there's a couple.
Mobile One,
Yep.
Coca-Cola, Red Bull. You could pretty much, maybe an Intel, like they're blue, but
yeah.
Large global iconic brands that have some red. Blue works with red, the red, white, blue thing. So that works. And I really thought I could get Mobile One. I really, really thought I could get Mobile One over there. But I also was like, I need to go after Red Bull. And everyone's like, dude, Red Bull will never leave KTM. Will never leave. And I again, another one of those places, I remember where I was sitting when I made the call in my car at a car wash. I make the call. I lob the call over to Paul Crandall. I don't know if you know Paul from back in the day. He went on to GoPro and
Yeah.
he was a CMO at GoPro, but he was at Red Bull.
Yeah.
He was like one of the first 10 employees at Red Bull, like my understanding. And lo and behold, he worked at GMR where I was at before. So it was like all this network again, right?
Yeah.
Coming together. But I said, hey, Paul, just to throw this out to you, man. There's a unique opportunity. I know you guys are global with KTM, blah, blah, blah. I'm like, Honda. He's like, what? Honda, HRC. And he's like, dude, I'm listening. He's like, you could have told me just about anything, and I said no, but Honda, I'm listening. And so it took us a while to put that deal together, but man, was that cool. The activation with the bus that they brought and the pits and the launch party that we did, I'm like, that partnership should still be in place. It really should be, but people change positions, philosophies change, marketing plans change. One thing leads to another, blah, blah, blah. And it deteriorated. And, obviously KTM and Red Bull are what they are today, but that was a deal. I think that was probably the largest deal in the history of the sport.
Really?
I think so.
Huh.
I think so based upon what I know.
Wow.
Yeah, that was really, really cool to do that. But I was bummed to see it go away too, because we had Millsaps, we had Trey, Tedesco.
Yeah. Shorty
was on that program too.
Yeah. And
the plan was it was supposed to evolve and go into the entire off-road program, the road racing program. It was supposed to be Honda, Red Bull across the board in the United States. But then it went the other direction. But those are I mean, like I said, those are two that really, really stick out to me. But I brought Toyota.
Yeah.
To Feld, which was an interesting story. Toyota was supposed to go to Chad on his race team. In the 11th hour, Nissan pulled out of Feld. Feld called me and said the truck, and I'm like, Toyota's launching the Tundra. And
I remember when that.
And I literally thought it was going to be the team, the sport, across the board, and then Toyota pulled the rug out from underneath us on the team side, and I was like, I'm like, you son of a guns. Like,
that's like one.
Like I had this for my, and now like trying to do the right thing.
Yeah.
And that happens, and you're like, I can't control the brand. But like in retrospect, I was like, that one backfired.
If you enjoyed this content, please like and subscribe. And to listen to the full 3-hour podcast, search Gypsy Tales in your favorite podcast platform or click the link in the description below. GYPSY Gang.